I rise in strong support of ACA5. And I compliment my colleague from Los Angeles for her passionate comments and appropriate comments. In early 2000s, when I was campaigning for the state assembly, I met with a gentleman named Joe Hopkins, who wrote the local black newspaper in my district, still going strong after 40 years. And he took all of his editorials over the first 25 years of his paper and put them in a book. And I read the book, and every 3 months, there was a reoccurring theme in his 25 years of editorials. Why doesn't California, with such a rich education history, do more for black students? Why doesn't California, with the greatest universities in the country, do more for black high school seniors and make them feel welcome on its campuses? And it went on for 25 years, his plea for California to do more for black students throughout our state. So I sat down with him and I said, if I go to the assembly, I want to do something, I want to help. I read your book, and your passion needs to be answered. And so many people don't know the very first piece of legislation that I authored when I was a freshman assembly member was a resolution to call on the University of California to do more academic partnerships with historically black colleges and universities. Something Mr. Bradford talks fondly about. Because in my district, there's a strong complement of HBCU graduates, board members. The chairman of the Morehouse board lives in my district, and there's a proud history of HBCUs, but there's also a young cohort of students who want to attend the University of California, and they wrestle with that. And I said, well, let's do academic partnerships. Well, what did I run into? Prop 209. We had to get a ledge council opinion that said if you do an academic partnership, you could get around Prop 209. The fact that we had to intellectualize academic partnerships in a way to get around a roadblock to help young students get an education in and of itself is a problem. And then I was hazed on the floor when I presented this resolution. Why would we do this? Why would we do this? Why would we create an academic partnership between historically black colleges and the University of California? 19 assembly members didn't go up on the bill on concurrence. 12 senators laid off ACR 21 at the time in 2008. And so here we are, it's time to rectify that. During our discussions, we brought together black business leaders, black high school students, community leaders, and we had a discussion of what can we do. And those of us who were parents were shocked when we heard high school seniors say, why would I want to go to UCLA? They don't want me. Why would I want to go to Berkeley? I'm not comfortable on that campus because I don't see people who look like me. And so for a public institution to make a segment of the public feel unwelcome and not wanted, and to have 18 and 17-year-olds feel that way, that was a problem. I will say to my good colleague from Riverside, almost every student in high school said, the only UC I would be interested in going to is Riverside, because it's the most diverse campus. Their parents didn't even know that, but the 16, 17, and 18-year-olds knew that because the word had filtered down which campus was the most diverse. And so we ultimately created an academic partnership between the HBCUs and the historically black colleges and the University of California. We created a summer fellowship, which is in its 11th year, to create a pipeline into MBA programs. And my good colleague from Los Angeles put it in the budget 3 years ago, a small amount of money to fund this academic partnership. But when we first started down that road, we got pushback from the Senate. Well, what are the standards of HBCUs? Everybody had a reason not to do it. And so I stand in strong support of ACA5 today because we have to have a reason to do this, because we have decades of reasons to know why this is the right thing to do. Our students should be welcome on these campuses, and our admissions offices should have the tools they need to accept our diverse population, so that diverse population thrives in our public education institutions. So I strongly support ACA5 and compliment its author and its field jockey.